And we're back. Welcome back. Good evening to the Sunday Scaries. Now in co-op mode, and featuring Hana Pengu. Hello. And we're playing Scarlet Hollow, because it's got more content now. Not a new chapter, but lots more content within the chapters.
Particularly chapter 1 and 2.
Okay, so we're not going to continue or load another save. We're going to start fresh.
And season content, the biggest thing I would recommend is to turn Stella down when we meet her in the street.
Interesting. Okay. Alright, so who we gonna be? Oh, we got a new follow. Hello, Doodling. Alright, let's see here. I want to name a character Charlie. Charlie seems like a hapless name to me.
There.
And you live in the city of... because it's on my mind, I'm going to say an equally cursed town with equally big secrets under the mines for different reasons, and go with Odyssey.
Fair enough.
Alright. I like the idea of being a they-them who has successfully left Odyssey, so we'll do that. And Charlie's a good gender-neutral name. Oh, thank you for the sub, Hana Pengu. I have to resub to yours as well.
So, I will say,
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing voices. I always am.
Talk to animals is happening for sure.
So then I was supposed to set the question of what the second one is.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
I
got the
think
most
a bit
new
of-
stuff?
Well, so I wouldn't say very many of them. So I would say either sort of. Okay, so let me just go through them. Okay, so powerful build that technically does have new content because the choice in chapter 1 is slightly different. It won't
Right,
be
right.
dramatically different, but like you can see what it looks like in the slightly different version.
Yes.
Mystical probably has new content just because it's one of the most content heavy traits in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Street Smart and Keen Eye are both, very also very, you are observant. Here is lots of information.
Mm-hmm.
Book Smart actually does get you a whole bunch of new content in the library, so that is always an option. And then Hot is just to get people who like you, so I would say
Yeah.
bother with that one.
I might do Talk to Animals and Booksmart this time. I don't know if I've done that combo before.
I don't think I have either, actually.
I think last time I did Talk to Animals and Keen Eye, so... And I've only played the game through like once, so... You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing the bus with the many others that came before it. But, as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets and would not pay for plane tickets, evidently.
I mean, that tracks.
Yep.
Every
No, it does, for sure. The funeral of Pearl Ann Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Fortunately, the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow. Alright, now, do you want to do the stranger or not? Okay.
I desperately do not.
Okay.
All of you.
How insufferable do I want to make this guy?
Rather.
Yeah. I will have him. Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not sure he even stopped when you started to doze off. At first, you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. Yeah, I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies, we were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. What is wrong with you? Yeah, I was just a shithead back then. I'm still a bit of a shithead, but hey, nobody's perfect. This girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was going to call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend and said it hurt a lot. So I guess she really was mad and not just playing. But she kept swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance, fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. Ha! We had a good laugh and we fished her out, and her phone got soaked so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. That's the least believable part of the story.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, this woman has some incredibly questionable taste, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though, about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me, like, for real, and jeez, you ever get so mad you just want to, like, kill somebody? I do enjoy it. Why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
You don't know me. Yeah, and you don't know me. That's the miracle of bus rides. We're never going to see each other again, so we don't need to hide who we are. This right here is a closer relationship than most people will ever have. Lord, I hope not. Oh, my kid, maybe we will see each other again. That's going to be a jump scare when that happens.
Bus guy shows up. Like, final scene, chapter 7. You're on the bus on the way back to your hometown.
Yep.
And bus guy.
Yep.
Bus guy.
Exactly, and you just stare daggers at him until he goes away. You bore a hole through his head with your eyes. Anyways, you're young. You'll get it when somebody tries to break your heart one day. It changes a person. Makes them think things they never thought they would. Ha! I honestly could have killed that woman. Anyway, she's giving birth to her son right now, so I'm trying to get out to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm, like, into that stuff. So I might just wind up on a bus in New York or something instead. I always wanted to go there.
Yes.
Thank you, Booksmart.
I love that option.
Have you considered therapy? Maybe it would help if you talked to someone about these feelings. Someone professional. I'm not licensed or anything, but it seems like you might have a personality disorder. It might be worth looking into. Nah, I don't need to do that kind of stuff. Bus strangers are the best therapists. I feel a lot better after talking to you. It's not just to feel better. Anyways, where'd you say you were headed? I didn't. No need to be nasty, I was just asking.
Need to be nasty. It would make it go away.
Also, that's... said, buddy, you ain't seen nasty. Not like I'm gonna follow you off the bus or nothing. So if you aren't getting off at my stop, then you must be headed to Scarlet Hollow, right? Or the Holler, as they call it around these parts. That's the only other stop till the bus turns around. I ride it pretty often, side no. Almost nobody ever goes up that way, though, come to think of it. I had a couple of buddies that went up there to work in the mine. There's a coal mine up in the Holler, you see. And there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I never wanted to do that sort of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are. I don't. Thanks, but my buddies got desperate enough to try it. I haven't heard from them in a while now that I think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook. See how they're doing up there. Hope they didn't die. He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Oh, it's me. It was lovely meeting you. I hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Oh, hey, Hana Pengu, could you go ahead and remove that bot from the chat, please?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure you have authority to do that, right?
I
Nice.
turn on icons.
Nice. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. Noticed you haven't eaten much. Figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. Sometimes, picking a dialogue option establishes new facts about who you are.
As in, you can establish that you're allergic to peanuts.
Yeah, I don't want to be allergic to peanuts. I'm just going to say no thanks.
I've done it a couple times.
But then you can't have PBJs.
Yes,
And that's important in that house. Oh, well. That's lacking in protein.
Yeah, but it is what Tabitha says if you're like,
Yeah.
like, all right, well, I guess you'll have jelly sandwiches.
Well, you can't do that if you have powerful build. Where are you going to get your protein? Anyway, you put up your hand to say no. Whoop. I'm not really hungry. There's still a good 45 minutes left in your journey, pal, assuming nothing goes wrong. Best to have them on hand. The young man sets the peanuts down on the empty seat next to him. The juices dribble out through the bottom of the bag and into the upholstery, instantly soaking it in peanut brine. That's a term I don't like. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. And just like that, you're alone. The stranger's peanuts soaking into the seat across from you. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow. End of the line. Almost there. Throw the peanuts in the trash on the bus. Oh well. The bus finally comes to a stop. Its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. The sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk. Though for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a paved road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the doors behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind.
Hey, Charlie.
You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. Looks like somebody needs a hug. Just instant Chris Farley. Hey, Tabitha.
Come on, let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to.
Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. Okay, here we go. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car that you're in and the road that you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. I'll start with, I can't believe we'd never actually met before this.
I have your mom to thank for that. Or had, I guess.
I think I like that one.
Mom's club is the literal worst one you could pick.
Oh, I'm sure. But there's a certain kind of person for whom it's natural dialogue. But anyway. I don't know why my mom left or what kind of grudge she had against this side of the family, but I'm sorry. I wish I'd known about you.
Whatever. What's done is done.
How are you holding up?
Fine.
Alright. I do like a book smart option, so I'll go with that one for now. Even though I think it's not going to go over well, it isn't healthy to keep things bottled up.
I'm not bottling anything. I'm just more emotionally mature than you.
Ouch. Ouch. That's unhealthy to say, but here we go. So the funeral. It's on Sunday, right?
Yep. Like I told you.
Since I'm here, do you need any help planning? I know this stuff isn't easy.
It's actually been fine. Just needed a coffin and somebody to dig a hole.
Not doing that other one, thanks. Boop. You sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you, someone used to cramped apartments in gray cities. Yeah, that looks fine.
Yeah. Totally. Absolutely fine.
I'm not at all concerned.
Steadily but surely falling off.
A cliff. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you, a jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it, perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. You're hit with a blast of dusty air as you step across the threshold and into the foyer. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive, each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. That was a well-timed sound effect, damn. Alright.
Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen. And hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. Some of the book smart options for this are actually great.
The architecture here is breathtaking. A chateau-esque style, reminiscent of the Biltmore estate. I think... No, I'm thinking of something else. I was about to say, was that the mansion from the real world New Orleans? But it was not. That was the Belfort estate. Anyway.
Color me marginally impressed. I didn't have you pegged as cultured. Believe it or not, this estate actually predates the Biltmore by nearly 3 decades. It used to be the crown jewel of the region. But times change and the intentions of the masses are ever so fickle. Shall we begin the tour? Follow me.
You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps.
Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Jamie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and you can access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you.
Some explore options prevent you from taking others. Choose carefully. I do like the I Love PBJ one. But let's see. Yeah, we'll do that one first. Awesome, I love peanut butter and jelly. How did you know it was one of my favorites? That smile can't be real.
Mine actually looks nicer than hers. I can't do hers.
Yeah, that one.
It's closer.
Yeah, you're still smiling too big, but yeah.
I'm just not good at fake smiles.
Yeah. Well, again, that was more a like kind of nervous thing than a smile. Yeah, that's you.
I didn't, but good for you.
Is there somewhere in town to buy food? I might want to eat something other than peanut butter and jelly this week.
Well, aren't you fancy? Yeah, there's a general store. There's also a diner. I usually order my food in bulk online, though, so I wouldn't be going with you.
None of the other ones are like, it's cool. Thanks.
Cool. Good talk.
It's nice.
It's a kitchen.
Alright, what's next?
Bathroom. Follow me.
Oh, I didn't get to say hi to the cat. Oh well. Great, it's been hours since I've gone.
Oh, you'll have an opportunity here.
Fair enough. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop.
Amazing at French accents, but I'll do my best.
Here's the thing, it doesn't have to be that good.
That's true.
Because we don't know what a French cat sounds like in their head.
Also, we don't know that she's probably not actually from France, so...
Frou, that was the name. I couldn't remember it.
Don't try to pet Frou. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. Ne me parle pas.
Bah, yeah. Ah, vous parlez français.
Your French is terrible. Disgusting. How dare you defile my language with your clumsy American tongue. Ha ha, very funny. Her name sounds French. Stop wasting my time and let's finish the tour.
It's wild for me to think that the last time I played through this game, I did not have my own tuxedo cat.
Aw. It's true.
I cannot imagine her having a French accent, though. Unless it was very much a French peasant. Anyway, you once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being, you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors.
Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside and do what you must if you must.
Is there just a toothbrush sticking out of a wine glass that has wine in it over there?
There's a very interesting option in chapter 2 that, I guess the option itself isn't a spoiler. You can stay at the estate and clean the bathroom.
Huh. It is a wretched bathroom. You're saying?
I was just gonna say there's some implications if you do that this may have been Purple Anne's bathroom.
Oh.
So, toothbrush in the wine glass.
Sure. Makes more sense now.
Yep.
Anyway, it is a wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor.
Actually, it's also possible that this has always been a guest bathroom and it's just where hair,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of hair dye and it's like, well,
Mhm.
maybe they just used this bathroom to dye their hair because it's not gonna get messier.
Mm-hmm. Is it implied that it's the shade of blonde that Tabitha is?
I'm not sure. It definitely said there was
Okay.
But I'm also just remembering that there's a dialogue option here where Tabitha says something that implies that Perlin had her own bathroom. That was not
Mm.
this one. So now I'm
Eh,
like, well,
whatever.
maybe this was just where they
Could be.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the toilet works. I'll lift the toilet seat.
Bam, Bella, did you do that?
Bugs skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. Oh, hang on.
You know, on that note, actually, I'm sorry, but I kind of also have to use this one.
I have an emote for this. 1 second. Why is it not letting me use my own? Ah ha ha. There we go. A toilet is a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Wash your hands with soap. And we wait. Cheers. You missed me yelling at my character to wash their hands with soap. We can see the soap. It's right there. It's right there. Anyway.
Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me.
You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot. It has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. I love that. That's very good. The, like, matching facial expressions.
Oh, yeah. I never really noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you'd better be grateful. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty.
Who used to sleep here?
When? This house is almost 150 years old. Many, many people have slept here. And now you'll sleep here, carrying on the fine tradition of bedrooms being slept in.
It's a very Daria line, Tabitha. Let's see here. I guess I'll start to get settled. Oh, hang on. Speaking of tuxedo cats, this one doesn't have a French accent.
Friendly.
Yes, hang on.
It's also much friendlier and enjoys pets, I imagine.
Well, friendlier to me. Oh, hang on. In fact, 1 second. No, she got wise. She left. She knew I was gonna pick her up. All right. Anyway, let's go.
Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me.
Some dialogue options will open up additional conversation paths, some right away, and others down the line. There wouldn't happen to be a library in this estate, would there? I'm not sure what else I should do with my time.
There is, but as I said earlier, most of this building is off limits.
Ooh, forbidden library.
And the library is in the West Wing, which is extra off limits. You're better off heading into town. Pretty sure there's a library there.
Where are you going?
To work. Somebody has to pay the bills around here.
What kind of work do you do?
I run the coal mine, so it's same as every Scarlet who came before me. Except for you and your mom. It requires a lot of time and concentration, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep me for long.
There weren't other extra siblings? Whatever.
I mean, not in the last couple generations. We actually know.
That's fair.
Four
Yeah.
generations.
Yeah.
Exactly what happened to all of them.
That's a good point. I didn't know we owned a coal mine.
We don't own the coal mine. I own the coal mine. Your side of the family forfeited any claim to it years ago.
Ah, vicious. Don't you think about things you could be doing in your life that might give you a better sense of purpose than running a coal mine? I mean, it is probably one of the most ethically and physically vile jobs on the planet. But I think that's kind of sad might be the most appropriate here. When you're ready.
Sorry. Some of us don't get to let whether some or not something is sad influence us. Some of us had to stick around to keep the family business from crumbling, to keep this town from crumbling.
You could sell it to the workers and have them run it as a co-op.
Oh, she was raised in an environment that would not even allow her to consider that option.
Just saying.
Some of us had to temper our expectations for how our lives were going to go. There's a simple satisfaction to getting a task done, and that's all I need. Do whatever it is you want to do while I'm gone. Just don't do anything dumb or dangerous, not while I'm responsible for you.
I do wonder about this one. I'm like, well, you asked me to come here, but now you're acting annoyed that I actually came.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've been testy since you've gotten here. You haven't done anything wrong. I'm just under a lot of pressure right now. Please just stay out of my hair until later, okay? I have work to do. That's actually one of the nicer options, so she is feeling positively towards you.
Do you think you could take me into town before you leave?
No, it's just down the hall, the hill.
Yeah.
You can walk there yourself. Down the hall.
Not quite, yeah. I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back.
We'll see. There's a lot that needs to get done this week.
Your cousin leaves through the front door. And now it's just you. You and this sprawling, decrepit estate. If I had street smart, I would go straight to the Forbidden Wings, but I'm pretty sure without it, You can't get in.
Walk up, you will see a giant padlock, and it will stymie you from going any further.
Yeah, let's get a sandwich. You haven't had anything to eat all day. The only things louder than your stomach right now are the creaks and moans of this ancient place. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich sounds like exactly what you need to take on the rest of the day. You head to the kitchen. You're back in the kitchen, ready to craft a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a daunting task given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, bread, a plate, and a knife. Really, 2 knives, let's be real.
It would be weird to DM your wife Gazuntip.
That would be a little silly.
I won't.
Bless you.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay. We shall... Let's see if there's bread in the fridge, I guess. As you approach the refrigerator, your eyes catch a note taped to the door reading, "Janie, stay out," in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, "Okie dokie." And from that moment, reader, I was immediately enraptured with Janie. You open the fridge and you already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you have yet to touch anything other than the handle. You reach for one of the unopened jars of grape jelly, carefully checking its expiration date. You breathe a sigh of relief when you realize it's recent. This was either purchased specifically for you, or jelly is one of the few things in this kitchen tab that actually uses. All you need now is a plate, a knife, bread, and some butter. Close the fridge and keep looking. Alright, let's search the pantry. Tabitha sure loves her macaroni and cheese. I will examine the mac and cheese. You pick up a box of Tabitha's mac and cheese. You can't say you've ever seen the brand before. Empty the box and stuff it with a dead mouse on the shelf. Why would you... What?
Yeah, if you do that, there's this thing that's like, you do not know what force possessed you to do this horrible gremlin thing, or something like that.
No thanks, put it back. Staying away from the macaroni and cheese is one of your cousin's hard rules, and she already seems to not like you. You put the box back where you found it, reluctant to make things worse than they already are. Take the peanut butter. The king of nut butters, and only 3% of each jar is mashed up cockroaches. All you need now is a plate, a knife, and some bread. You know, I think there's actually laws about that. About the maximum allowed percentage of mashed up bugs in various different processed foods.
Interesting.
I know supposedly that's why you should never buy ground coffee. You should always grind it yourself if possible. And I was like, but who has the time? So, take the bread. You pick up one of the non-moldy loaves of bread. Great, one step closer to a satisfying snack. Why keep the moldy ones?
Well,
Are you trying to make penicillin? Alright. Let's look at the cabinets. This cabinet must be where Tabitha keeps the dishware and, oddly enough, the utensils. Examine the mug. It reads, "I was blown away at Blowing Rock, North Carolina. So your aunt and cousin actually traveled sometimes, even if it was only a few hours from the estate. Maybe you can route your return trip through Blowing Rock. Might be nice to see the local sights before heading home." Over under, will they end up there at some point, do you think?
I mean, honestly, I don't think so. I doubt any of this game is going to really take place outside of Scarlet Hollow.
I didn't know if they would end up, like, coming out through a tunnel somewhere else and then having to make their way back or something.
I don't think that's likely. There's such a thing about the town having a pull on people that makes it hard.
That's a good point. It does have a strong gravity. Examine the shot glass. My favorite thing from this. It reads, "I survived Deb's 50th. Your aunt's name was Perlan, so this wasn't from her 50th. From the few stories you'd heard from your mom, Perlan wasn't the type to have had kitschy friends who gave out themed shot glasses at their birthday parties. I wanted so badly to find a similar shot glass when I went to North Carolina to give to you.
I mean, you did
I did.
fine,
I
but
did the best I
honestly,
could.
honestly,
Yes.
truth be told, I probably prefer the one that's just the generic Outer Banks one.
Fair enough. All right, plate and butter knife. The last ingredient has been collected. It's time to get to work. Close the cabinet. You close the cabinet and look back to the rest of the kitchen. Approach Frou Frou. Frou Frou hisses as you draw near and remains firmly in place.
You might want to talk to me, but I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
Do you like living here?
I despise small talk.
Can you tell me about Tabitha? What can you tell me about my cousin? It's the first time I've met her.
Spare me your life story. Tabitha at least knows not to bother me.
Can you tell me about my aunt, Perlan? I never knew her.
She's dead. I don't waste my time on corpses. If you won't take the hint, I suppose I'll have to take things into my own hands.
Frou Frou lunges at your hand and bites you hard. You back away. How? I wasn't even bringing my hand up to her. Seems uncalled for, cat. Despite the state of this horrendous kitchen, you have successfully combined your 3 ingredients to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Congratulations! You can feed yourself. Job well done. All of that hassle and it took you less than a minute to eat. The rest of the day lies in front of you. Let's take a look at the garden. The garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. It might not be very safe, but who's to stop you from venturing deeper? Do we see anything yet? No. You wander further into the garden. It's quiet out there. You head back inside and close the door behind you. You're done here. Congratulations, you've eaten and have a full day ahead of you. What do you want to do next? Settling into the room doesn't preclude going to town, right? Now that you've finally eaten, the aches and pains of your journey have started to sink deep into your bones. You stumble up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. Put your spare clothes in the dresser. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. An opossum lurks within. It is quiet, but angry. Hi, friend. I know her.
Afraid!
Oh, what's your name, little guy? I'm Charlie.
Dustin.
What are you doing in my drawers?
Warm. Dark.
Can't you move, please? I would like to put my clothes in here.
No. This Dustin house.
Can you tell me about the human who lives here?
Which
Perlan died. Only one human lives here.
Dustin not good with names. 2 human live here.
Can you tell me about the humans who live here?
1 human sad. 1 human scared.
The sad human.
Cries. Gives Dustin bad sleeps.
The scary human.
Always watches. Eyes. Hateful.
Never mind. Thank you for the help, Dustin.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Puka. It's true. Dustin is too cute. Oh, you can't hear Hana? That's a problem.
Oh no! I hope that hasn't been true the whole time. That'd be horrible.
Like, the levels are going up.
Am I quiet or inaudible? Because it might just be that I'm too quiet.
I mean, I'm bumping your audio up higher now. But let's see.
God, tell us. Tell us.
Okay,
Please.
okay. Puka says it's better. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah, I'm not sure
Just
what
a
else to
little
do for that.
bit.
Again, I mean, it's coming through fine for me, Puka. I don't know.
I'm also kind of testing.
Oh, I am hearing some echo. That is true.
Oh, well, how fix echo? Has that been true the whole time?
Most of the time, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Puka points out you might have, if you have your webcam also pulling in audio as well as your mic, that could be it.
Well, I mean, it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do I yell at it not to?
I'm not sure. Here, wait, try now.
Okay, I'm saying some stuff. I'm talking.
It doesn't seem any better when I cut my mic.
I didn't assume that was the problem. You know what's funny is echo cancellation is apparently on, which is clearly a thing that does not.
Oh, mute the video feed from Twitch?
Let me see if I can manage my camera settings. Oh, actually, yeah. Do you have me up in OBS? It might be that OBS.
You're just coming through desktop audio on OBS. That's the only one it's coming through right now. So.
But it might also be coming through Twitch naturally because it's connecting through my account.
Maybe. Let me see. Hang on.
All right.
Let me see if I can adjust that.
Oh, right. You'd have to mute the OBS thing. Right, so. Oh, my room's getting dark. I'll take this opportunity to turn on lights.
Yeah, I don't have it as a separate option to adjust audio and not video on it. So I don't know what to do for that. Yeah, that might be a project to figure out later rather than in midstream now.
Yeah. As long as it's not, I mean, as long as I'm audible, it probably doesn't matter that much.
Hopefully.
It's like a little annoying, but.
Anyway.
It's just all the animals will sound a little oddly robotic. Oh, wait, there's one other thing I could try.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
what
no,
you got?
Won't work.
No?
I was gonna try turning off my audio, and then I'm like, but then you have no way to get my audio.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could.
Well, hang on. Okay, so if I do this, Puka, let me know if you can still hear Hana. Okay. I don't know if that worked. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I think that didn't work, and that's okay.
Nope.
Yep, okay. That's fine. We'll figure.
Now that Dustin combo is over.
Ooh, you might have just killed the echo, whatever you did. But.
What?
Anyway, fashion clothes into nest. Let's see if Dustin enjoys that. You poor thing, you look cold in there. You gently lay your clothes on top of the creature, arranging them into a little nest. Dustin closes his mouth somewhat more at ease than before and looks at you with his shiny black eyes. Aww.
It must have been my camera. Turning it off and back on seems to have been the only. It's the only thing I really changed.
Fair enough. Why does... Hang on. Okay, cool. Anyway, you have a line. Haha.
Sorry. Human is kind to Dustin. Dustin will remember this.
You close the drawer, satisfied with yourself for a job well done. You'll just have possum fur on your clothes from now on.
Minor technicality.
It doesn't let me look at the secretary. I want to look at the roll top secretary. Let's look at the painting. This must be an older relative of yours, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you'd barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a week ago, so that's not really a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet the next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. Instead, I will ask Hana Pengu. Mary Belle Scarlet, which generation was she?
She is your and Tabitha's grandmother. Yeah, she was the mother of Pearlan and Vivian.
Okay.
But she died in childbirth, so they were raised by their grandmother, which was Edwardina.
Oh.
Yep. Is that her name?
Edwardine.
Edwardine, yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's check the closet. There's a creepy doll. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in here. Pick up the creepy doll. Of course you're sharing a room with a creepy doll. You pick it up to examine it more closely. Its foot reads, "Property of Alexandra." No need to carry this around with you. You close the closet behind you. Look out the window. You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves and whip it into shape. You go out and pull weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, and do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was all done, you'd sit by the fountain, which, of course, would have a little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the bird's song. Yeah, you definitely do that. Just not right now. That's an alternate game where it's the beginning of Scarlet Hollow and then just turns into a farming sim. And nothing else happens. It doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now. So might as well head to town. Now that you're settled in, there's not much left for you to do here other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. If you had known that you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. No, yeah, but like, you had your suitcase and stuff, so... If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension. Though, maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. The Holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Oh, Gretchen!
Gretchen, come back. Quit bothering strangers. Why, I do declare, who is this stranger, and why do they smell of peanut butter? And I haven't pulled out stuff available now. Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc.
It's nice to meet you, Gretchen. I'm Charlie.
My, oh my, I can't remember the last time I met a newcomer who was so wonderfully polite. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Charlie.
Oh, look at that face. That's a happy pup.
funny way to introduce yourself. I'm Stella.
I like that it suits the game, Puka. That's very good.
Fair. Next time we'll have to do some testing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folk, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral?
Is this where I start rebuffing or no?
No. There will be an explicit opportunity to turn her down when she invites you
Yep.
to the diner.
Just got into town today.
Wow, I didn't think there would be anyone else coming. Are you staying with Tabby? How's she holding up?
Upon mention of your cousin, Gretchen mutters under her breath.
One of these days, I'll get that Tabitha to pet me.
If I could only get that kiss. Alright, hang on.
I haven't seen her since Pearl Ann passed. Or for a while before that, now that I think about it.
I'm sorry, did you say Tabby? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so informal.
Cute. She did back by when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay.
Is she always so... you know?
Rough around the edges? Yep, that's Tabby for you. I wouldn't take it too personally. I'm not sure what it says about her state of mind that she's still her same old grumpy self. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even though she'd probably never admit it.
Are you two friends? Oh, your volume level's getting weird. Try that one more time.
Okay, let me gonna try it.
Yeah, that one sounded washed out before.
Okay. I was messing with my volume. Alright. I was probably closer than most people have gotten to being able to call her a friend.
Perfect, thank you.
The school here is really small, so everyone had to at least get along with everyone else. She was a grade ahead of me, but everyone knew her, especially since she's a Scarlet.
Dun dun dun.
We wound up bonding a bit when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated and that was that. I haven't seen that girl or her horrible little cat since I was middle-aged.
Remind me, in Midsummer Night's Dream, which character is Mustard Seed? Is that one of the fairies?
A minor fairy, yeah.
Okay. Because I was just like, I feel like Tabitha would have played the stage manager.
I know, right? Well, I mean, but if she had to play a role, then
Right,
that's
right.
a fairly enough.
No, but there's an in-universe stage manager, isn't there?
Oh, I don't recall.
Isn't there a whole thing going on with, like, the... Am I thinking of a different Shakespeare play?
You might be. So there's the four humans.
Right,
and
Lysander,
I don't know what
Demetrius,
all of
Hermia,
their
and the other one.
deals are. I don't remember what all their deals are. I just remember there's the one who falls in love with the...
Right, no,
fairy.
it's the whole mixed up, like, yeah, etc. But I
don't
thought that
remember
there
what
was
their,
a...
human jobs are.
Yeah, I thought there was, like, an outer frame story of people, like, putting on this play or something.
No. That's definitely not a thing
Okay.
in Midsummer.
Mustard,
Like,
thank
Puck
you,
is
Puka. Mustard
narrating
Seed
a
is the
lot of
one who
the
babysits Bottom
stuff.
when Titania makes them. Fair enough. Ooh. All right. Anyway, we should get back to this, and I'll worry about it later.
Yes. As long as we do. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, that's Gretchen. Oh, before it slips my mind, if you're staying up in that spooky old mansion, you must have met the Foo-Foo. How does that monster fare?
Ha, I like this one because it's common cause with Gretchen. Yeah, I've met Frou Frou. She might think she's much better than me, but I will get her to let me pet her, even if it's the last thing I do.
Wait, what? Are you messing with me? You can't actually talk to my dog, right?
No, that'd be weird. What do you, what? What do you mean? Who are you again? Alas, you've discovered my dark and terrible secret. I can talk to animals and animals can talk to me. Your dog sounds like a southern belle when she talks.
Yeah, of course you're joking.
You and Stella maintain silent, awkward eye contact.
Well, next time you see that devil, please send my regards. And do let her know that not only do I still draw breath, but that I very much still plan to outlive her. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. And then this is where you can...
Oh, okay.
Basically, you can just politely say, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna want it for a while. Thank you for the offer, though.
Well, at least I won't be smelling that feline stink all through our lovely meal. And I was so looking forward to having twice as many table scraps as usual. Oh well, a dog can dream. Okay, if you're sure. You're missing out, though. But I'm sure I'll be seeing you around. Don't be a stranger.
The two continue on their way up the road, leaving you to your business. And I see the new things that we can do.
Yes. Yep.
Let's go first to the general store and then to the town hall. You wander into the quaint little general store. The country ambiance clashes terribly with the goth woman behind the
Save here
counter.
just in case, because there's a limit, and I can't remember if the limit is 2 things or 1 thing. So, if the answer is you don't have an opportunity to go to the other one if you choose this one, just in case, save it so we can go back.
Can I rewind from here?
Yeah. But you can only go back to previous choices.
Okay.
So, if you go through this whole conversation with Kanika, you'll probably lose it in the autosaves.
Okay. So, yes. Between eyeing you with something between curiosity and dawning horror.
Oh my god.
She was clearly trying to say it quietly, but of course you heard her. You're the only 2 people here. I like find something to take to the register. Your gaze turns toward the shelves. Browse. You wander slowly down the nearest aisle. There's nothing very interesting to see besides the occasional deeply out-of-date brand logo that makes you feel like you accidentally wandered into the wrong decade.
Looking for anything in particular?
The tone of her voice seems like she's trying to start a conversation, approaching you like you're a wild deer that might sprint if she makes the wrong move.
Oh, wait.
Do you want to cut your
I don't wanna
camera,
risk
by the
that.
way?
That's fine, that's fine. I do want to re-say the line, though, with that description.
Sure. Hit it.
Can you go to the log just so I can see again? Looking for anything in particular? Feels like that matches a little bit more with what they're describing there.
There is a very quickly, I just want to say, there's a Josh Johnson bit where he's talking about how he gauges the safety of the towns that he's playing in, especially in the South. Because as a black man, he has to be cognizant of this sort of thing. And so he's saying, like, what I will do is I will go into like a West Elm or a Patagonia and just like browse and smile at people, and make eye contact and give them a smile, and see how long it takes for someone to respond. Because if just like, oh, hey, and then they pretty quick are like, oh, hello, no, you're fine, we're good here. But if you're in there and it's 5-10 minutes of that before anybody even acknowledges you, and then when they finally do, they kind of are leaning uncomfortably and they're like, can we help you? Yeah, we're not staying here tonight.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to do it, because you should be relatively safe in a public store.
Mm-hmm. Well, and those are very white brands of stores, no matter where you are.
Fair.
So the idea being, none of those stores are used to having a black person in them, but the way they handle it is very different. So
yeah.
Anyway, now that I've explained a joke, I have ensured that it is funny. Back to lines.
I'm Kanika. I work here, and you must be Tabitha's cousin.
She uttered the words Tabitha's cousin like she was handling a bomb.
You must be Tabitha's cousin.
Like she was handling a bomb. Let's get some ice cream and bring it to the counter. You quickly head to the fridges, grabbing the nearest frostbitten pint of ice cream before making your way to the register.
We're unfortunately out of Hilbert Creamery, in case brand loyalty runs in the family.
I was hoping I could butter her up with a new pint. Is this the wrong one?
I'm afraid so. We don't carry that weird stuff she eats anymore, not since she stopped coming around to buy it. We finally managed to sell off the last of it a couple years ago, thank God.
Everyone in this town is so friendly. I just met this Stella girl on the street and she offered to buy me a biscuit.
Oh, you've already met Stella. Great. She's a much better welcoming committee than I am. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You probably should have taken her up on that biscuit, though. The diner makes them like you wouldn't believe. Those things spoiled me on biscuits forever. Anything outside the Holler just doesn't measure up.
So you know Stella?
Oh, yeah, I know Stella. We're the same age, which is a pretty big deal when you live in a town this size. We went to school together from K through 12. Tabitha was there too, a year ahead of us. Not that a year gives you any distance in a school that small. Anyway, Stella is probably the coolest person in town. She's a YouTuber, and she's getting pretty big too. You might have seen some of her videos if you're into creepy stuff. It's mostly her running around the woods looking for fake animals, which she doesn't find, but it's got a great found footage appeal to it. Even though I don't believe in that stuff, every episode she gets me wondering if this is the one where she's gonna find something weird out there.
How do you get away with fashion like that in a rural southern town?
What, like they're gonna try me for witchcraft?
Yeah, it's more of a northern thing, I guess.
Sure, I get weird looks sometimes, and there are definitely some ladies in town who have made it their job to save my soul. But there are way too many hippies in these hills for most people to be concerned about what I'm wearing. And my mom is queen hippie, so I'm probably the least witchy person I know. Everyone my mom talks to might as well be wearing a pointy hat and carrying a broom.
So what do you think of Tabitha?
That depends. Are you guys friends?
We're a family. I don't know, she's been pretty mean.
that sounds like Tabitha. Amazing that not even family is off limits for her. You might even get worse than the rest of us, judging by the kinds of things she and Pearl Ann always used to say about you.
What?
Good luck with her this week. I mean it.
My aunt used to talk about me? What did she say? I'm sorry, I missed
If
it.
you really want to know,
Yeah, there
that's
we go.
fine. That was just a short line. That you and your mom were stuck-up city people who thought you were better than the town. That your mom was a, for having you out of wedlock. That it's good that your mom left because she was gonna drink away the family fortune. She would just say anything.
Wow.
Right? I love that you get this little, get to know what Pearl Ann actually
Indeed.
said.
Indeed, Puka, family tea.
I never believed a word of it because I heard what she always said about my family too, and I knew nothing that came out of her mouth was worth anyone's time. I think most people in town knew that.
That's, I mean, to paraphrase a common phrase, if they talk mess to you, they talk mess about you. For a person like that, anyway.
Oh, oops, sorry. My timing was terrible.
No, you're alright.
Let me just turn off camera. However, Tabitha is not most people. I'm sure she believed it all. I don't envy you having to spend the whole week with somebody who thinks so poorly of you. And she's just generally difficult to be around anyway.
So, what is there to do in town? I've got a lot of time to kill.
If you're looking for something exciting, you definitely came to the wrong place. The only restaurant we have in town is the diner. The only real place to hang out is probably the library. There's a gas station, for what that's worth. And there's a bar, but it's not exactly a place you'd want to go. It's a dive that's always full of minors. I'm pretty sure someone at the diner is throwing a party this weekend, in case you want to go to a weird house party with a bunch of strangers the day before a funeral. If I were you, I would just wait out the week. Read a book and hope the days pass quickly, then go back to your life and forget you were ever here.
Alright, let's see here. Doesn't sound like you're very fond of the place.
No, I'm not. I've spent enough time here for one lifetime. But getting out is always easier said than done.
You feel like the first normal person I've talked to.
What, Stella doesn't seem normal to you? She's always felt like the most normal person I know.
It was offset by the dog, truthfully.
I won't fight you on Tabitha being rude, though. That girl has problems.
Oh, before I forget, how much do I owe you?
$5.
$5 for 1 pint of ice cream? Damn. You hand Kanika a 5. As is custom, the ice cream is now yours. I do like fare thee well, fair maiden. I'm not gonna say it, but thanks for the ice cream.
Nice that it's an
See you
option,
around.
Yeah. You don't have to thank me, it's my job. Good luck out there.
Oh,
Alright.
got a
Do we get to go to the
achievement for
library?
chat with Kanika. Alright, let's
Oh.
see here. Alright, go to the town hall at the end of Main
Yay! You
Street.
get to do
Alright.
both.
Thankfully, it isn't too hot outside. Your precious ice cream should be able to survive a little more time exploring the town. What you find inside the elegant building is not a town hall, as suggested by the letters carved in stone out front. Instead, you find something that looks more like a library. In fact, it is a library. The air is thick with the smell of old paper and fresh coffee. A man busies himself sorting books on a mobile shelf, and a cat lounges on a book cart. And we're at time, so I don't want to do an entire another scene. So,
Okay. I can
let
pick it
me
back up.
pause and check and see on timing for this. One moment, please.
Alright. If you do decide to extend it, I can go until 8, just so you know. but I'm also good with ending here and picking up. The same event, actually. I'm going to talk a little just so we can't actually hear that whole conversation. But yeah, no, funnily enough.
Indeed, in light of the fact that y'all have the same event, both you and my wife,
Yep.
in order to make sure that she gets dinner, I'm going to go offline and do dinner.
Right there.
So.
Go fine. Before you go.
Oh, that's right. And our audience member also in the same game.
It's true! Puka, you should come to our 8
It's really,
p.m. event.
it's just me who isn't involved. So y'all have fun.
I mean, you could be.
No, it's okay. It's not my style.
It is a very buggy game, too.
But yeah, no, that's cool. All right, so we'll wrap this up and hopefully pick up next time, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out when next time is.
Yeah, I think I should be able to do next week if you're also doing next week.
I think so, but again, we can discuss it offline. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's put that there for now, and then I will say thank you very much, Hana Pengu, for collaborating. Thank you, Pukara, for watching.
I'll try to be a little earlier next time so we can get through more of the stuff.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I messaged you about it like only a couple of hours before I went live anyway, so. But yes, so we'll figure that out. Anyway, until next time, good night out there, whatever you are.